everyone and welcome back to WaverlyReads. My bookshelves last week, so if you want to see that video then go ahead and click here or the link in the description bar down below to see me building and organising them. There will be a bookshelf tour coming soon, but that won't be until I get my next set of bookshelves because I still have a pile, still have 4 piles of books down here, plus books I need to haul this month to put on a shelf, and as you can see there is absolutely no space. They are overcrowded as is. But enough about that because I could probably talk about it all day. Today I'm going to be talking about book series that I won't finish. Now this list is probably going to get a lot bigger over time, so expect to see a few of these coming out in the future, but I'm just going to talk about the ones that crop up into my head when I think about book series that I'm just not in the mood to finish ever. So this is actually quite a common series, and that is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. A lot of people have DNF'd this series either after they've read the first book or the second book, or they've just said that they just didn't enjoy the rest of the series. For me, I have read the first and the second book, The Maze Runner and The Scorch Trials. Now, I didn't really enjoy The Maze Runner up until the end, and the ending for me made it so maybe it was readable for the next book, like maybe something good was going to happen. I've seen the Scorch Trial movies, it completely bored me, the movie did, but to be fair I think I like blacked out through most of it because I don't remember any of what happened in the book happening in the movie. In the Scorch Trials I really enjoyed the book. It was opening so many questions, I was so excited to get them answered. And then they didn't, and they opened another question, and I was just like, if you want to find out more then you can read the next book. I'm just not going to bother to, because books should answer your questions before opening another question. The next one in my list is House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cast. I have read the first 3, maybe 4 books in this series, and I just can't anymore. I used to absolutely adore the series, I used to love it so much, I used to be so excited about what happened, and then I put it down and decided to reread it recently, like a year ago, and now I just can't continue it because, let's be real, the amount of just bad things that happen in this, i.e. cheating and basically being a slut, is just completely turned me away from this book. As someone who doesn't believe in cheating or open relationships, I just can't play with this main character just because, well, I can't deal with situations like that in real life, let alone in a book. And the storyline minus the cheating is so good. That's why I'm like so sad that I'm not going to finish it, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to continue a book where I hate the main character. Now, next on my list is probably one of the most unpopular opinions ever, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I know the 3rd book is coming out sometime this year, I think it is like May. I absolutely loved this book. Beauty and the Beast retelling Beauty and the Beast is my favourite thing in like the entire world, and I absolutely adored this book so much. Really excited to dive straight into A Court of Mist and Fury, and I did. I dived straight into it like a day after I finished this book. I DNF'd A Court of Mist and Fury because, taking it back to what I said about House of Night, just I can't deal with open relationships and cheating and stuff like that. And the way that Feyre was going in Court of Mist and Fury really infuriated me. I read 205 pages I think it is, and I just had to put it down. I couldn't pick it up. I was in denial for so long. I read this back in November, 3 or 4 months that I was in denial about not going to be finishing that book. I officially DNF'd it, and I'm not going to be picking up the 3rd book just because, like, I think I'm done with that world and I'm just going to stick with this being a standalone. When this book ends, I'm quite content with it being a standalone. So my list is actually one of my favourite books, and that is Lament by Maggie Stiefvater. I think this is a duology, not a series, but I'm still going to include it today. I'm just not going to pick up the next book. This is fine as a standalone. I think the next book's called Ballad, and I was so excited to pick it up until I found out that it's not even technically the same story. Instead of following her story, it follows a completely different character's story, and I just wasn't into that. I wanted to find out what more happened with the girl and her love interest, and I'm just not going to continue it because that's just not what I was looking for in the next book. So to me, again, this is just a standalone. Next on my list I don't actually own, but that is Girl Online by Zoe Sugg. Girl Online on tour, Girl Online going solo, and blah blah blah, and I don't know how many books this is going to have, but to me it's not needed. I think it is more of a publicity thing than actually wanting to write books, and I think the first book was completely fine the way it ended, and Again, it just didn't need any sequels, so I'm just not going to continue reading them. I heard that they get crapper anyway, and the first book wasn't all that great to begin with. And the last series I'm going to mention today is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I really don't know what to say. Like, I really enjoyed The Fifth Wave, I really enjoyed The Infinite Sea, and I was excited to jump into The Last Star, but then I just didn't. I haven't bought it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Like, I probably will just have it on my shelf. But the hype for me is just gone. Like, I went into this world, I loved this world whilst I was in it, but now that I haven't been in it for a while, I just don't enjoy it. I have the push to pick up the next book. I think it's the final book too. I don't have the need to do it. I don't feel like I have to do it. Plus, I can't really remember much that happened in these, if I'm honest. However, I know that I can't watch the movie because to me the movie just looks so bad. I had to turn it off. I'm not going to be finishing this series, which is kind of a bummer, but you know what? It doesn't bother me. I'll just buy it to have it on my shelf because uncompleted series on my shelf is just wasn't really that long, if I'm honest, but I'm not the type of person that will not finish some things. Like, I have to finish things if I start them. But lately I've been a lot more picky with what I'm reading, hence why I DNF'd A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm starting to realise that I'm just not going to continue with these things because I don't like them, and reading should be fun. I have a feeling that I'm going to get more of these things a lot as I go, and there will probably be a lot more videos exactly like this, either books I DNF or series I'm not going to finish, or just like things like that, authors I'm not going to continue reading, whatever. Like, please, if I decided not to finish one of your favourite series, do not get on at me. I do not need the hate. These are my personal opinions, and I'm not going to read something that I don't enjoy. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and if you love one of these books, then great, good for you. It just wasn't my cup of tea. That's all I have for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below a popular series that you decided not to finish. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Waverly, and now I'm off to read.